Good morning, everybody. Robert Weichelt, eXp Realty. Super pumped to number one, to have you guys on the call. But number two, we've got some really good stuff we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about recession proofing your business. And it's not so much working within a recession, but recession proofing your business. That means no matter what the market's doing, you're ready to take action, no matter what it is. We're going to go over prospecting now business. We're going to go over prospecting future business. And we're going to take some action steps on accountability. We're going to take action steps on game planning, goal setting, time blocking. We're going to actually do things today that are going to set up your 2023 and beyond. So again, my name is Robert Weichelt. I'll be your instructor today. I'm super excited. Make sure you put all your questions in the chat box. Let's make sure that we get those answered. I find that a lot of times the questions will come up. You'll ask the question, and usually like a slide or two or a conversation or two later, those questions will be answered. So I find that put your questions in the chat box. So Carla, I want to check in with you. How are we looking already?
Awesome.
Good. We've got 2 thumbs up from my bride, Carla. Thank you so much. So I've been in the business a long time. And one thing I've noticed, and one thing I realized, and one thing that's just so important is my partners. And so I want to take this time to introduce my partners in success, my partners that make me love this business. Because I tell you, if you're doing it all yourself, you can kind of grow to get old. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Carla. Carla, my bride, she's going to introduce CalWest Escrow. So Carla, take it away. Talk about our partnership with CalWest Escrow.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Whoop, whoop. As you all know, I've been working with Robert for just a couple years.
37,
maybe 35 plus. But most recently, I've got the opportunity to work with my good friend, Susanna Ellery at CalWest Escrow. And she is in our San Diego branch. And Susanna's has, over 20, I'm dating her and aging her right now, over 24 plus years experience in residential, commercial, and even in REO. So she's got a lot of experience. And our information, I have put a calendar appointment in the chat area. So if you have any questions you would like to set up a meeting, let me know. But as of now, I'm going to let Susanna take over and say a few words about herself and CalWest Escrow.
Excellent. Carla, thank you. Welcome, Susanna.
Can everyone hear me?
You're good.
Okay, good. Happy Friday. It's been a long week. We're getting closer to the holidays, which is really awesome. So my name is Susanna Ellery, and I have been in escrow for 25, almost 26 years. So Carla was pretty close. I do handle all types of transactions, and I just recently opened up our CalWest Escrow San Diego branch. We have our main branch up in Los Angeles. And Carla and I have partnered together for this wonderful, awesome escrow company to provide the service that we want to our clients. I'm very particular with my relationships with my agents and their clients. I do a lot of hands-on with sellers and buyers, especially when sellers or buyers are elderly and they have questions and difficulties with, there's a lot of paperwork and escrow and real estate. So makes it easy for me to meet with the client. So I'll go to their homes if I need to. I notarize stuff for them and I go through every piece of paper with them. I also communicate with clients after hours. I will always give out my cell phone to the clients just in case they have questions in the evening or on weekends. I'm always accessible to help our agents. And one of my number one priorities is to provide exceptional customer service to our clients. So that's what Carla and I are here for. I look forward to meeting each and every one of you. And if you guys ever need any escrow services or any questions for your clients, please reach out. I can have Carla provide my email address and contact phone numbers. Our local office is right here in Mission Valley, which is very central for the San Diego location.
And one thing I could say is I want to expand on my relationship with Susanna. All of you on this call, I'm hoping you've done a transaction or two at least. And when you have an escrow officer that is really good, it's almost like you don't know you have a transaction. But I can tell you this, you have an escrow officer that's not so good, you know when that's happening. So I definitely recommend Susanna and Carla for their escrow services. Give them a try, reach out. And I tell you, I'm super, super blessed to have you both on the call. Can't wait for 2023. Susanna, thank you so much for everything you do. And Carla mentioned about REO. That REO market's coming. We're going to touch base a little bit about that today. Susanna's got a great, extensive knowledge in the REO space. So Susanna, thank you. Carla, thank you for being on the call. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
So next up, we have Jordan Sires from Nexa Mortgage. And if you don't know, if you've not had a chance to meet with Jordan, I'll tell you what, you're in for a treat. So Jordan, are you there, Jordan?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you just fine. Coming in.
All right, good deal.
So I want to introduce my buddy Jordan. He's with Nexa Mortgage, and this young man is going to blow your socks off. So with that said, Jordan, go ahead and say hello to the group. Introduce yourself. Give us some updates. What's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I already see some familiar faces. I met some of you in our presentation in Los Angeles. So hello again. How are you? For the ones that don't know me, my name is Jordan Sires. I've been in the mortgage industry about 10 years. And we really like to do business a little bit differently. I like to talk a lot about true value, bringing true value to agents. Not in the same fashion of, I'm answering my phone on the weekends or at night or, closing on time. To me, those are assumed things as a good lender, is making sure that we do those things and have good products. But really, when I talk about true value and creating value with agents, I want to be able to put a dollar figure to it. How much money did I make you, this quarter? I want to be able to sit down with each one of our agents that we do work with and say, okay, we made, an extra $20,000 in commissions, or we're able to sell X amount of more homes. I really enjoy that piece about it, being a true business partner and looking at your business from a perspective of, I want to help you make money, because if you make money, I make money. We really focus on that and creating relationships and different things. So I'm going to throw my information. Yes, thank you, Carla. It is my birthday tomorrow. So yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
But I'm going to go ahead and throw my information in the chat. I would love to meet with a lot of you guys and really help come up with a business plan for 2023 that I can help you with and help you grow database mine and whatever we can do to help you do that.
And Jordan, thank you so much. First of all, I tell you, happy birthday, brother. Carla and I love birthdays. If any of you know us, we love birthdays. So happy birthday, my friend. It's just an honor to have you on. One thing I want to point out is working with Jordan. I'm an agent. I'm concerned with purchase money loans. I want to send my borrowers and they're getting purchase money loans. I'm not so interested in somebody that's chasing refis. Jordan is a purchase money lender, knows the purchase money product. That's a big deal. So Jordan, super stoked you're on the call. And if there's anything you want to add in the chat box, please do. So his information's in the chat box. Definitely reach out to him. Thank you so much for being on. I want to thank Success Coaching. I know we have a couple of success coaches on this call, and I want to talk about Success Coaching just for a second. Get out there, and they have so many different opportunities for coaching. We're going to talk a little bit about getting listings from FSBOs, expired, cancels, and probate. We have Homeboss University. Homeboss is a listing tool, not only with cash offers, but with also kind of auction style online offers platform where we're working with FSBOs, expired, cancels. So Homeboss University, a great tool. So thank you to all the sponsors. Carla, looks like we're going to get ready to go. We've got everybody logged in. We've Us agents, we like to show up just a few minutes late. So we wanted to give them a chance to get logged in, and looks like everybody's logged in. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's talk about what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over the REO market. We're going to go over the current FSBO, expired, canceled, probate, divorce. Why would you listen to me? Well, just a little bit about me. I'm the founder of Top Producers Network. I train, coach, and mentor agents all over the country. 36 years in the business. So I've seen a thing or two. This is my third cycle as we're coming into the more of a distressed market. I'm approved at 44 banks and REO companies. Why that matters is because I want to be a resource for you in the REO space. And we're going to talk about the REO space here in a moment. So we're going to get right into it and show you how to make your business recession proof. One thing is, I don't expect success, I prepare for it. And game planning, time blocking, goal setting, it's all about preparation. REO business is a perfect example of preparation. Are you prepared for when that REO market comes? Are you positioned for when that REO market comes? Because it's a little bit different than working with FSBOs, expired, and cancels. That's a system. You can start doing that right this second. But REO is more of a positioning to get in line for the REO asset. So keep that in mind. The current market conditions, we just got out of some COVID crisis, if you will, and the market's all around and starting to make a rebound. But I'm seeing a lot of numbers talking about where the distressed property market's going. So kind of keep an eye on the traditional market, on the distressed market as well. So keep an eye on that. So just kind of, and I can share this presentation with anybody that wants a copy of it, so you can, expand upon what's going on in terms of what kind of graphs and marketing. Because the biggest thing, sellers, and they may say they don't want to hear anything. They just want to hear, tell me what you think. Do you have a buyer? But they need to be educated more now than ever in probably your career. Sellers need to be updated on what's going on in existing sales. They need to be updated on days on market and why that's important to them. They need to be updated on inventory and what kind of inventory influx. There's more inventory coming in, but it's also staying on the market a little longer now because prices are adjusting and sellers are getting used to that price adjustment. What's going on with mortgage rates? You can reach out to Jordan anytime and talk about, hey, what's going on in the mortgage market? Rates are up, rates are down, rates are what's going on, so it's really important to really have an idea of what's happening in the mortgage space. FICO score, what's going on with credit scores? Do you have somebody that maybe has some banged up credit? You can reach out to Jordan and he can get them on a credit repair platform and get them going in the right path. And of course, rent. I'm telling you, for the landlords on the call, it's fantastic. But for anybody that that's renting, it's very difficult. It's actually more expensive to rent than it is to own. So make sure you reach out to Jordan and talk about those scenarios. What I want to go over right now is, where are you currently in your business? What's happening? What's going on in your business? Where do you want to grow? Do you want to take more listings? Do you want to work with more FSBOs, expired, canceled, probate, divorce? You want a better circle of influence? You want, what kind of systems are you using to grow your business? I guess the other question is, why are you on this call? Ask yourself why you're on this call and really kind of figure out what you're going to do to make next year, 2023, which guys, by the way, has already started. Everything you do right now will be affected in 2023. Every new seller you work with today more than likely won't be realized, whether it be closing or even a new listing, until 2023. So everything you're doing right now is positioning for 2023. I got a question for you. What's your why? Do you have a why? What springs you out of bed every single morning? Like, I cannot wait to get started. What is your why? What are you attached to? What's really making you just like go, oh my God, I can't wait to do all this? Because I know a lot of us, we get a lot of rejection in our business. In sales in general, you get a lot of rejection. What's keeping you going? What's your why? Do you have a picture of your why right above your computer screen? Do you have a picture of your why in the bathroom with the medicine cabinet mirror? I mean, are you always reminded of what your why is? Think about what your why is. So now let's go into some of the things. Let's deep dive into this. This is a new market, guys. It's shifting. We just got out of, 19, 20, 21, the beginning of 22, where it was phenomenal. The last 3+ years have been phenomenal, but it's changing. You need to get more educated, deep dive into what's the market changes are. Sellers need us more now than ever. And we're going to talk into some of the things, how we can educate ourselves to educate our sellers, because there's nothing better than an educated seller, especially when you're going to work with them. So here's what happened the last time around, 2007, 8, 9. That's the whole stock market crash. And that was the market of 2008. Now we're going into some aftermath of COVID. We're going to some forbearances and starting to see a lot of activity in the foreclosure space. I'm not saying quit your day job. What I'm trying to say here is pay attention to it. Get positioned for it. I don't want to be a naysayer, but I'm telling you what, if you're positioned for the REO market, you will be positioned and ready to go when that market does present itself. That's future business. What are you doing for now business? And we're going to talk into some of those things. 3 patterns to succeed. And one thing you want to remember is, are you recognized? Do people recognize you as their real estate choice, their real estate resource, whether it be you have a title, escrow, lending, home warranty, property line, any type of questions? Are you the go-to for your database? We do more than just sell homes. We're a resource. You need to reach out to your sellers. Sure, they may not want to sell, but do they need an attorney to put together a trust form? Do they need a good CPA? Do they need resources? Are you the resource? Are you recognized as their real estate resource? Are you utilizing technology to automate? That's a big deal. We use KV Core and it's amazing. And are you utilizing those platforms? And are you creating content that helps your database? Are you creating content that makes sense? Like if something's going on with the rates, get it out there. If something's going on when the market starts to shift and do some different things, you need to be the resource for what's happening in today's market. So do you understand the cycles of life? In spring, it's happening. Everything's rocking and rolling. We've, gone through just a pretty good spring we just went through. Summer is when we start to realize, hey, listen, things start going on a little differently. Fall is when we reap the benefits of all of our prospecting. And then winter, this is when leadership and coaching, training, and mentoring and reminders of all the things that we need to do. So when that market comes back around, because really at the end of the day, try not to become the man of success. Rather become the man of value or the woman of value. But my point is, reach out and add value. There's always those scripts that people use. Hey, this is Robert with EXP. I'm calling to see if you want to buy, sell, or invest today. I'm not a fan of that personally. I'm more of I'm adding value. Why would I stay relevant with my sellers? Why would I stay relevant with my buyers? So I reach out to those folks and to make sure that I'm bringing value. So here's the steps to create a USP. This is a big part. Do you have a USP? Do you have a unique selling proposition? Understand the power of identity. That's key. Identify and articulate your competitive advantage. A lot of us on this call have what's called the Homeboss selling system. It's a listing platform that we reach out to FSBOs, expired, cancels, probate, divorce, and it's allowing us to really set ourselves apart from most other listing agents out there. Do you have a USP? Are you practicing the communication, your message? Are you getting that message out there? Are you living that message? And of course, you need to market your USP. So if you want to know about our USP, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of the QR code and reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to walk you through our USP. So let's talk about the keys to change. Here's the key with the market, what's going on. First thing we need to do is we need to raise our standards. We really do, because change is happening all the time. People aren't lucky. One thing I look at is we all need to raise our own bar, because bottom line, if we're not doing all the things we know we need to do, because good is the enemy of great. Does that make sense? Increase emotional intensity. Get fired up. Get excited. Because the last thing you want to do is just start jumping on the phone going, hi, this is Robert. Do you want to sell your home? You got to get excited. These sellers, these buyers, these investors, these agents, these loan officers, folks that you're prospecting, folks that you're working with need to know you're excited about the product. They want to know what your why is, and your why needs to come into place. The biggest thing is our truth is what we tell ourselves. I'm a terrible prospector. Well, yeah, you're right. Or I'm a great prospector. You're also right. So what needs to change in that space? What's going to get you to the point where you're making those calls? You're doing all the things we're doing. Because one thing I've got to tell you, agents, we're not agents, we're prospectors. We're looking for sellers for our buyers and buyers for our sellers. That's what we're doing. So we need to make sure that we're doing that. Here's some of the kind of the market where I go after. Obviously, don't forget about your database. Your database is so important. I can tell you, I've probably got 400 or 500 in my database. And are they all completely fully vetted? Do they have their name, their address, their email, their birthdays, their kids, their this? My database probably is nowhere near what it needs to be. And it's always a work in progress. But is your database? Fortune's in the follow-up. Here's another thing is assumable loans. Have you seen the MLS lately? You start seeing some of the remarks that are coming out in the MLS. They have assumed sellers willing to let the buyer assume the loan. Seller financing. Are you paying attention to some of that? I just got an email last night that said fully assumable loan. And it was like hardly any money out of pocket for the buyer. That's huge. You're going to start seeing some of that. Are you starting to see more notice of defaults? What's your message to them? Notice of defaults, notice of trustee sales. I use what's called My Plus Leads. And not only do we have FSBO's expired cancels, but we also have notice of default, notice of trustee. That's a market. They need your help as well. So you're going to certainly see some short sales coming about. You're starting to see values come down. If somebody purchased the home at the top of the market and that market comes down, you're going to start seeing some potential short sales, whether it be forced short sales where somebody's getting relocated or somebody just loses their job or somebody, bad things happen. Are you a resource for them? Are you going to be there to help them? Of course, investors need help spending money. I love helping the investors spend the money, right? FSBO's expireds, in my opinion, are the most powerful. You're starting to see more and more FSBOs come on the market. And here's why. The FSBO is a FSBO for sale by owner because they don't want to pay a commission. Because the prices have come down, their expectations of what they want, so they have to make up for it somewhere. So they think that selling it themselves is going to save them that money. When we can show them that they're going to have the highest and best price guaranteed if they use our platform. But you're going to start seeing more expireds and more cancels because the sellers may be a little ambitious with their sales price. Agents aren't educating these listings, these sellers. They're taking this, the high route where they negotiate down. That's a terrible way to sell a home, by the way. So our strategies to help sell homes is much better. Of course, there's self-investment, their skills, referral websites. If you shoot me an email, you can go to my Calendly link right here. And if you want to, I go over the referral, all the different referral websites out there that sends you buyers, that sends you sellers, and you only pay a referral fee. That's huge. I'm not a big fan of spending a bunch of money to be on a site and just kind of wait for business. That's not how I do it. But I am okay with paying a referral fee, just like I would an agent outside of my market that sends me a referral. Hey, who do you want to, who do you know looking outside of San Diego? I have people all over the country. Really work the referral game big time. That's a big, big market. So the referral networks, and I can certainly send you a copy of the referral websites, but also show you some of the referral ways to reach into your database for agents outside of your current market. The book of business, this is big. Your book of business is getting bombarded with automated ways to do it. You've got Opendoor, OfferPad, Zillow, all vying for your clients' time. What are you doing with your current book of business? Are you reaching out to them? Are you letting them know that you're a resource for you? Because you have a lot of competition. So those are some of the things that are happening. And if you want to schedule a time, you can certainly do that. Now, let's talk about default, because this is kind of the big thing. You know, the market that we're going to go into is default. And I would certainly love to debate that with somebody if it doesn't think that, but I can tell you it is. Default basically is where somebody fails to pay their obligation, their loan, they get behind, they lose their job. A lot of times what happens is they bought at the top of the market. They see homes just like theirs selling for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of what they paid. Then they lose a lot of interest in making their payments, where the strategic default will come in. So it's pay attention to the notice of default and notice to trustee sale market. Like I mentioned, is My Plus leads. I get not only FSBOs expired and canceled, but I also get notice of default and notice of trustee. And those numbers are increasing literally by the day. So pay attention to that market. What is your message to the default seller? What is your message? It's a different kind of message. You've got to approach it the proper way. So I'd be more than happy to sit down with you and kind of go over how we're approaching that default space. Are you set up for short sales? Do you understand how that process works? It's going to be, I can assure you this time around, there was nothing short about a short sale last time. This time around, it's going to be obviously more streamlined. We need to make sure that we're educated on that space. I know CDPE has a great short sale training. Go check it out. The REO market, we've already got a number of HUD listings already. So that market is coming. It is showing signs of coming. Are you doing BPOs? Are you with the banks? Have you been pre-approved or, basically approved in an application submitted to all the different REO and BPO companies? I'm going to share a few with you in a second. So do you understand how that stuff works? Now, you can go to ResNet, you can go to US Res, you can go to Equator. These are all very familiar bank resources. Of course, REOMAP, which is now called NADP, National Association of Default Professionals. So you go to reomap.org. The 5-Star Conference, are you being educated in the default space? So these are just a few. And again, you have my QR code. If you want to deep dive into the REO space, let me know and we can make that happen. But I wanted to bring that up. And here's some of the things that you need to do to get involved in that space. So you have, of course, the broker price opinion. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of opportunity. Banks are reaching out to agents like you in your market saying, hey, I need a broker price opinion on 123 Main Street. Can you provide that? It's absolutely how that market starts to get going. I'm seeing, it's already happening. Our BPO numbers are through the roof. And we're doing a lot of BPOs every single week. So pay attention to that. And these leads, these turn into listings. These BPOs, these relationships turn into REO listings. So make sure you're positioning yourself to get that. One thing I want to bring up also is HUD. We're a HUD broker here. So you want to go to the HUDhomestore.gov. We do live classes once a month. We do a couple webinars a month for agents and buyers. So pay attention to the HUDhomestore.gov. Go there, get registered. If you're not already registered with them, get ready to go. Take a look at some of that, what's going on there. And there's lots of great information that you can take those properties that are currently for sale, HUD properties, and market those right now to start generating buyer business. It's an amazing tool. And if there's a good neighbor next door, and we can dive into that a little further, but the good neighbor next door is an example. Our son's a firefighter paramedic. He gets 50% off the list price. So example, if the property is listed for $500,000, his end price is $250,000 for that home. Isn't that information you probably want to share with your database and let your buyers know that these opportunities are there? It's fantastic. And of course, bank-owned, getting the bank-owned listings is just a phenomenal way to get business. Because, I don't want anyone losing their home. Let's just be very clear about that. But the banks need representation just like anyone else. So why not it be you that gets the REO listing, the REO assignments, multiple accounts? It's not like a traditional seller that sells every 5 to 10 years. This is a 5 to 10 a week type of business. They're going to give you multiple assignments, multiple listings. So pay attention to it. So what are your action items? I guess that's really the kind of key. Then we're going to get into more of the time block, goal set, and the game plan, and the actual action steps we need to take to dive into this. But here's your action items based on what we just went over. Are you obtaining the proper training? Are you getting the right certifications? Like EXP, we have the EXP REO, we have Relo, we have commercial, we have luxury. Are you certified and are you getting educated in that space? I would recommend going to the REO and BPO companies and getting trained and certified. EXP, like I said, has an amazing training. I'm actually the REO trainer, one of the REO trainers for the whole company. So that's why I reference EXPs, because I do a lot of REO training company-wide. Pick 2 ways: FSBOs, expireds, cancels, probate, divorce, notice of default, notice of trustee. Pick 2 ways. I personally like FSBO because, don't you agree, FSBOs have their hands up the highest? They're like, hey, look at me, I want to sell my house. But the reason why they want to sell a home without an agent is because they want to save that commission, because the market's come down a little bit, so they're chasing a certain number. But if we can show them how to arrive at that number and they still don't have to pay that commission that they're not wanting to pay, would they work with us? So pick a couple. Like I said, I pick FSBO, expired, and cancels. I like them the best because they have their hands up. But certainly don't lose sight of the probate and divorce and the notice of default, notice of trustee. Create an REO and default resume. Do you have a resume? If you want an REO resume and you don't have one, you want to sit down with me, let's schedule the time. Let's walk you through how to get an REO resume. You've probably heard this term before. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So apply for 3 banks a week. Freddie, Fannie, Chase, boom. Next week, I'm signing up for HUD, VA, and B of A. Next week, Wells, and so on. I can provide you a list of REO companies in our one-on-one call that you can target. Start doing BPOs for them. Start getting their assignments. Start being the representative in your market for those bank properties. Because right now the banks are reaching out to us saying, hey, can you run out and do a quick broker price opinion, just a drive-by on 123 Main Street? You bet. That doesn't take long. So my point is, reach out. If you want to get into the REO space, you can certainly set up a time and I'll walk you through that. So with that said, I'm going to go to the chat box. I'm going to see what questions we have. Morgan, we've got Jordan left his information. Fantastic. That's great. Let's see if there's any other questions. Is there any questions regarding the information that we just went over? Any questions on what we went over? So you can put it into action right now, and I'll send you a copy of this. If you want to copy this, just reach out to me. Here's my Calendly link. Just schedule a time. If you want to be a part of our referral group, go into and get a copy of that. We'll get you a copy of the referral sites, the REO, the BPO, and the referral sites. You can go ahead and schedule a time. We can do that. If you want the full suite of resources, reach out to me. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, certainly reach out to me and we'll make it happen.